Hello and welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today I'm going to be working on the Moomin house from DeAgostini, stage 24. Just to show you how things came out on stage 23. The onions I did on camera, the coffee I did afterwards. I like the coffee. I like them both for different reasons. Coffee went together better, onions a little bit bulkier. Both of them pretty good. And then the benches are done, or not the benches, the shelves. They sit relatively straight, but that's not what we're working on today. Let me go ahead and move this out of the way and get the book open. Today we start working on the outer walls of the basement. So let me get the parts out. And what we've got is two of them. Two of them that are identical, 4 holes total in them. One with pins on one side. I think this one will have pins on both sides. And they all will fit together on the outside. Plus there's also pins right there that will go into these holes on here. So this one will actually go on here like this when it's done. And I believe, yeah, this will slide in, and I think there's going to be a panel across the front of the basement. Just a second, let me adjust this camera because it's a little bit far up. It was from last night when we did the Friday night live stream. Okay. So let me go ahead and get those. Let me set the basement off to the side somewhere. On top of those, we got the paper that's always in there. We have the start of, let's see, kitchen shelf. It says kitchen shelf parts. So let me go ahead and get rid of the bubble back and we'll start working on this. So we got top and bottom, 2 holes on either side. Top and bottom. I'm just looking, really nothing spectacular about this. Kicking around whether I'm going to glue these on to the bottom now or if I'm going to actually paint them, because I have seen them painted and it looks really, really good. Not like I said, not sure whether I'm going to do it or not. Okay, so it goes through, check the parts. There are 2 parts A. Part B has pegs on one side, part C has pegs on both sides. And what you do is you take part A, part B, and you can see they slip in there just like that. And it would probably, that's not good. That does not line up. So I'm wondering, there is a difference. And is there? Ah, okay. See if I can get there. See where it says A32? That's got to be upside right. And then the bricks will line up. I'm sure it's the same on here. So A31, I wonder if it really matters. I don't think it does. As long as the bricks line up. And they do. Ah, dropping stuff everywhere. So I'm just looking. Okay, yeah. So it says to apply a small amount of quick drying glue around the pegs making sure that you don't glue the wrong side. This goes on here like that. You know, always make sure that everything looks right. So I'm going to just put some glue down in here. Pop this down on here. Hold it. Matter of fact, got a couple of clamps right here. What I'm trying to do is minimize. That didn't work. Let me get a different clamp. I'm trying to minimize the gap here. Oh yeah, that's a lot better clamp. These metal clamps are much better for this. I'm trying to minimize the gap, visibility of the gap right there. I may actually paint them because if I paint them, I should be able to cover that gap a little bit at least. Then let me get 2 more clamps. I had a drawer full of clamps next to me. And do the same thing on this one. Just looking. And it's a good thing that I am, because I believe detail A, detail C, I was about to glue this on the wrong side. So let me wipe this glue off of here. Make sure that those line up, because this part is going to have to go on here. And the way I was about to glue it, the pins here would have been over here and it wouldn't have lined up. So let me glue that on there. Put the clamps on it. And then set this aside for right now. Clean off the tip of the super glue. That's something I always do, is I let the super glue set a little bit, make sure that it's clear, the tip is clear as possible, so that I don't have to fight with it later on. Close this up, put this over here, take a look, connect on the inside. Just looking to see, and it's saying to apply glue to the joints. Like I said, not going to do that at this point, because I want the option to be able to take it back off to do some paint work on it. So there's the first one. It is relatively dry. And like I said, it is going to pop on here just like this. It's actually a little bit, wider than it should be. So I'll have to do something like that. See how this one's doing. What what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this on here and get some tape, which I should have some blue painter's tape handy, but I'm not seeing it right now. Hang on just a second while I get, actually, second rubber bands. So I can put this part in place like that. Pins in the socket, stretch it out, pop the rubber band over it, and that'll hold the front piece here. Do the same thing on the back piece. Go a little bit further with it. Let go. And eventually, I will glue this down, and that pin pops back out. Hang on. Oh, there. Eventually, I'll glue this down here. I may, after I paint it, just use some double-sided tape. And then this one here is going to, the pins are going to go on here like this. This pin is going to go down into the wood. This one keeps popping loose. This is actually the first time I've had some difficulty getting the parts to go together on this build. Right now, that is too far in. Okay. Let me do the same on this side. For right now, this is just to hold it in place. Eventually, I'll glue it down. I want to say next couple of issues, I should be finishing the outer wall here. And when I do, I will actually glue it down. I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to paint this or not. This right here, the gap is a lot more discernible. And if I if I clamp it there, it's going to pop out further. So let me see. Yeah, I'm going to stop messing with it until I decide what I'm going to do. It is on there. It will sit there until I get the rest of the pieces, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do. If I paint it, if I glue it on here, I paint it after I glue it on here, that means I have to use brush paints, which I'm not averse to. But I just don't know what color I would want to use. This does not fit as well as you would like, and these pins keep popping out. Here's the problem. See the pin down there? Pin down there. They both popped out. So I'm going to stop messing with that for right now and move on to the shelf. And it says to glue them in. Like I said, not doing that right now. The shelf, cut the pieces out. Not happy with where they put the cut point right there in the corner on both of those pieces. So we'll see how that ends up looking. should be okay. That one should be okay. Thought for a second there I broke the tip of the X-Acto. And this is scrap that I can throw away. And what I do is where the join was, I sand off the nub just to make sure. Actually, let me see. Yeah, they've sanded all the sides. Again, like it. So there, a lot better than that when you go to stain. Do the same thing on here. And on these, some pieces you can't do it very well. That should be good. This one I'll do all 4 sides. And I'm not getting everything completely off. I'm just knocking most of it down so that it looks a little bit better. And then this, just looking at it, probably not going to be able to do much of anything, but I will hit the nubs, the side that has the nubs on it. And if I can later on, before I stain, I'll sand it down. And you can see there, those are the spots where the nubs were. Position side panels, tab facing up. Find the glue. Then you take the shelf here, slot it in just like that, except putting glue on the edge. So on there like that. Do the same on the other side, the other piece. I'm about to trying to put this thing on backwards. So that it's on there like that. Then on the back wall here, you take this piece here, you put glue on either side of the tab. It looks like it'll only fit in one way because it will fit down onto the shelf as well. Let me show you. Once I get this on, I'll show you what I mean. Yeah, I've got that backwards. Turn that over. So it fits flush to this shelf, and the shelf on top will also sit flush on top of it. So let me go ahead and throw the glue on here. And to be honest with you, with the size of this and the amount it's going to be jostled around or anything, which is not at all, the glue, the amount of glue I've got on here is overkill. Come on, fit on that tab. So it started on that one. There we go. And I think I do have the shelf on backwards. Let's see if I can get this pried back apart. I'm just going to flip it over. Get that glue cleaned off in a second. The problem was it was not lining up at the back. And actually the glue came off while I was handling it. I'll sand it down a little bit before I stain it, but now you can see it's flush with the back of the cabinet. And just hitting it real quick with the sanding stick will get that glue off before it sets in and dries. And you can see there's a few edges up on the front that I will hit with a smaller sanding stick. So that is it for this stage. Got the start of a cabinet here. Have to figure out how I'm gonna work the walls to the cellar, but it's coming right along. Cellar itself, the cellar room, is mostly done. I also have to figure out if I'm going to try and put some sort of light in here, since I am lighting it. If I do, it'll probably be something over the top of the wall or something like that. Probably won't be able to, just because of the design of it, because it's a pull-out wall. But like I said, that's all for this video. Hope you're enjoying this. Like and subscribe if you do. Hit the bell icon to be notified of any time I post new content. Come on over to Hobby Time Modelers on Facebook, YouTube, and Discord. See what we're doing. And take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great day, and have a great day tomorrow. I will see you on the next video.